The cold, gritty water soaked through Zara Washington's cheerleading uniform in an instant, the shock of it stealing her breath. She was on her hands and knees in a filthy puddle, her skirt torn on a shard of concrete hidden in the mud. Above her, 3 figures blocked the gray afternoon sky. Jake Morrison, the school's star quarterback, flanked by his loyal enforcers Tyler and Brandon. Their laughter was the cruelest sound she had ever heard, echoing the high fives they shared, as if they'd just scored the winning touchdown. "Looks like you slipped," Jake sneered, his voice loud enough for the gathering crowd to hear. "Maybe now you'll think twice about where you belong." This wasn't just a prank. This was a message, the brutal culmination of weeks of relentless harassment that began the moment she, a black girl, had earned a spot on the traditionally all-white Westfield High cheer squad. It started with whispers in the hall, then escalated to a vandalized locker, stolen cheer shoes and racist taunts on social media. Zara had endured it all with a composed silence that the boys mistook for weakness. They couldn't see the tactical training instilled by her father, a decorated Navy SEAL. They thought she was another helpless victim they could break. They were catastrophically wrong. As she knelt in the mud, the taste of humiliation on her tongue, Zara memorized their smug faces. This would not happen again. The real fight was about to begin. That evening, she walked through her front door, not bothering to change out of the ruined uniform. Her father, Commander David Washington, took one look at her mud-streaked face and the tear in her uniform, and the coffee cup in his hand was set down with deliberate, unnerving precision. "What happened?" he asked. The story spilled out, not just of the puddle, but of every incident, every threat, every slur. She showed him the social media posts, the screenshots of comments calling her a diversity hire who didn't belong. When, she finished, her father's expression was dark. "This is just the beginning," he said, his voice quiet but carrying the weight of a 20-year military career. "They're testing you, seeing how you'll respond." "So what do I do?" Zara asked, her own voice trembling with a rage she hadn't allowed herself to feel until now. "Physical confrontation is always the last resort, Zara," he cautioned. "They already crossed that line, Dad. They put their hands on me today." A flicker of something dangerous and cold appeared in her father's eyes. "Fair point, but there are other ways to handle bullies. Strategic ways. Ways that leave them no room to claim victimhood." He leaned forward. "You are David Washington's daughter. You are smarter and more disciplined than they are. We're going to plan this like a military operation. Tell me everything you know about them. Their schedules, their habits, their weaknesses." The first lesson began at dawn, the next morning. "The key to any successful operation is intelligence gathering," Commander Washington explained. For days, Zara became a ghost, observing her targets from a distance. She learned that Jake Morrison, the leader, built his entire identity on being the star quarterback with a one-way ticket to a Division I college. His weakness was his reputation. Tyler Knox, the muscle, was violent and insecure. His family was struggling financially, and a football scholarship was his only way out. And Brandon Mills, the follower, was desperate for their approval. The weak link in the chain. Phase 1 targeted the leader. Her father presented her with a manila folder. Inside were expired prescription pills from the nurse's office, meant to be destroyed. "College scouts don't recruit students with drug possession charges," he said simply. The morality of it felt heavy, but Zara's resolve was firm. He started this war. She would finish it. During football practice, when Jake's prized truck sat unlocked in the senior lot, Zara slipped the bottle under the passenger seat. An anonymous tip to the school's drug hotline was all it took. Within hours, Jake Morrison was led away from the football field in handcuffs, his future dissolving before his eyes. His dream college rescinded its offer that night. Phase 2 was Tyler. Zara's intelligence had revealed he was selling vapes to underclassmen behind the gym. This time, no evidence needed to be planted. It only needed to be seen. From a window in the art building, Zara recorded 2 of his transactions. The anonymous video, sent to the principal, was irrefutable. Tyler was pulled out of class, and a search of his locker revealed his entire illegal enterprise. He was suspended, facing expulsion and criminal charges. His scholarship offers vanished. With Jake and Tyler gone, Brandon Mills crumbled. Consumed by paranoia, he called a meeting, convinced Zara was the mastermind behind their downfall. "She's been playing games with us," he told them, his fear twisting into a desperate, dangerous rage. "It's time to show her what happens when you mess with the wrong people." They found her address in the school's parent portal. Their plan was simple: corner her, intimidate her, and get their revenge. Zara felt them before she saw them. On her evening walk, a dark truck crawled along the curb, matching her pace. Her father's voice echoed in her mind. Never let them choose the location of confrontation. The truck doors slammed. Jake, Tyler, and Brandon emerged from the shadows, forming a triangle around her. "We need to talk," Jake snarled. "And this time, Daddy's not here to protect you." "We know you're behind everything," Tyler accused, his face flushed with anger. "Actions have consequences," Zara replied, her voice steady. "Maybe you should have thought about that before you put your hands on me." "We're not cowards!" Tyler exploded, lunging at her. Zara moved. Her father's training took over, efficient, brutal, and fast. She sidestepped Tyler's charge, driving an elbow into his ribs. She ducked under Jake's clumsy grab, striking his solar plexus. Brandon tried to seize her from the side, but she used his own momentum to flip him onto the asphalt. Furious and winded, Jake pulled a knife, its blade gleaming under the streetlight. "You want to play war?" he gasped. "Let's play war!" He lunged. Zara's mind went crystal clear. She caught his wrist, redirecting the blade and twisting until he cried out and dropped the weapon. A knee to the stomach and an uppercut to the jaw, and Jake collapsed. 3 opponents, neutralized in less than 30 seconds. As the sirens wailed in the distance, Zara stood over them, breathing hard. The fight for her dignity was over. The fight for justice was about to begin. The legal battle was swift and decisive. The boys' own words, culled from text messages and intercepted jailhouse calls filled with racial slurs and threats of revenge, condemned them. A neighbor's security camera had captured the entire attack, including the moment Jake drew his knife. What started as a school bullying case had become a federal hate crime investigation. In the final court session, Judge Reynolds was unsparing. "You targeted a fellow student because of her race," she told Jake, sentencing him to 4 years in state prison. "Your recent communications show no remorse, only continued racial hatred." Tyler received 3 years. Brandon, who had shown genuine remorse and cooperated with investigators, received 18 months in juvenile detention. Zara, asked to give a victim impact statement, faced them one last time. "You thought you could intimidate me into disappearing," she said, her voice clear and strong. "Instead, you taught me that standing up to bullies is the only way to stop them. I hope you learn that every person deserves respect, regardless of their race." The battle was over. The victory was not just in the prison sentences, but in the knowledge that she had faced down hatred and refused to be a victim. She had created her own justice. Thank you for listening to this story from Fable Crypt. If you enjoy tales of justice and resilience, be sure to explore our library for more.